What's going on, Jeromes? We're back. Happy Tuesday. Join us for the live stream. Thank you very much. It's a good day. Yeah, July 7th. We're getting there. Was it technically 3 weeks from the start of training camp, the scheduled start of training camp? So fingers crossed. Hopefully it happens because we need sports. We do. We need football. We need that outlet. Yeah, it's important. So today we got Q&A, as well as we asked you if the Vikings had to change cities within the state, which for reasons, where would you move them? All right, so obviously the Vikings never going to build $1 billion stadium downtown Minneapolis. They ain't moving. But it's always fun to talk about because I actually think that within reason, the team, actually most NFL teams within reason, could move sort of wherever. Like, I understand that they want to be tethered to urban areas because they think, oh, well, that's where the fans are, right? But I mean, you look at Lincoln, Nebraska. All right, so Lincoln, Nebraska for stupid Cornhusker games. All right, so Lincoln, not a massive town, but on game days, it's what's it saying? It's like the third or fourth largest city in Nebraska, like the stadium. Like it's up there with Omaha. It's up there with, I don't know what else is big in Nebraska. Actually, not much, right? So people will come. Like if you build it, they will come. So you're telling me if the Vikings moved from the Twin Cities to, say, I don't know, well, Mankato. Well, screw Mankato. Winona. Say the Vikings moved to Winona. That the Vikings still wouldn't sell out every game. You telling me that? No, it absolutely would happen. Like, yeah, yes, a lot of Twin Cities residents are season ticket holders. I fully understand that. But also, I mean, all of a sudden, families from down here, I mean, Vikings fans are all over the place. There we go. Or if you put up north, if you put in Brainerd, you tell me that fans won't go up to Brainerd? Well, maybe not in the winter. Maybe this is a terrible idea. It's a fun mental exercise. So we'll talk about that today as well. Live stream, you guys are the best. Thank you very much for coming along. So what we're going to do today. Let's see. And I'm proud to be. I had something that we're going to bring up. I got to find it. And I'm proud to be an American. Oh, so here we go. Check out our macro NFL channel. I just put the link in the description, so you can check that out later after the stream, during the stream, whatever you want to do. Top 5 football or football news today. We actually haven't come up with a name for it. This is very piss poor branding on my part, but we're gonna put some like macro NFL takes over there. It's not gonna impact the Vikings coverage at all. So channel's still gonna be going strong, but decided to grow another one. Pretty great. Because why not? Because I always want to like touch on like macro NFL topics. Like we put the Patrick Mahomes video on this channel yesterday. Like, whatever. We'll start off a different macro NFL channel. So subscribe over there. Watch a couple of the videos if you want to see this face. But I don't know. Talk about Deshaun Jackson. Oh boy. Yeah, so that'll be over there. Go check that out a little bit later on. Subscribe. All right, so first up, Barb Nee. She would move the team to Warroad simply because the namesake Warroad fits the Vikings team. Yeah, so Warroad is way up norte. I'm pretty sure Warroad, like Warroad is it the most northern town in Minnesota? I think it might be. Or at least it's close. All right. Yeah, so Warroad, it's certainly up there. Seven Clans Casino. Cool. But yeah, it's right up there near Canada, Boundary Waters, all that stuff. I mean, you get a lot of Canadian Vikings fans coming down, I guess. It's like a nice little town. I'm a small town guy. I really am. Grew up in a small town. Yeah. And like the only thing keeping us in the Twin Cities area, in the suburbs, is like the schools are good and the wife likes Target. Next up, Travis, definitely Duluth. The whole lake boating community vibe would be perfect for the Vikings. Yeah. So forget, is it Baylor or Tennessee that's got like the Navy? So yeah, Duluth will be awesome. And so it's either University of Tennessee or Baylor. It might be both. Yeah, put the stadium right on the waterfront somewhere. Yeah, plop it right here. There you go. Hey, sorry, you houses, you gotta go. Actually, I'm sure like these houses are extremely valuable. Let's see what's here. Yeah, this is the creeper part of Google. Or is this just a park? It doesn't matter. Yeah, plop it right there. Plus, if you put this, say the stadium's right there, and then just having like the Navy boats just like come out, hang out on game day. That'd be great for tailgate, except for in winter. Then it gets a little bit dicey. So that's why it's easier in college football, especially Southern schools, and also the season ends in November. NFL maybe not so much. W. Day Robbie. And now my question is: Pat Elflein the next Randy Moss? No. Kyle Rippentrop, definitely Duluth, and make the stadium have fantastic views of the ships coming into port. Could you explain your plan for the second channel? Football. General NFL football talk. There you go. Sir Meepsalot, if the Raiders give Clowney a lowball offer, why don't we do the same? Have Reeve take a pay cut and save $7 million or so, which puts us 16 after rookie signed. Give Clowney 1 year, $15 million. Yeah, the more I think about it, I'd rather have Everson at 8 than Clowney at 12. Even and any more than that, it's certainly just more advantage Everson, because I do like the Vikings edge rushers as a whole. Also, I think a lot of the cap is going to go towards potentially re-signing Harris as well as Dalvin. Yeah. Next up is World War II General Vince Vaughn. I recently stumbled upon the greatness of the 2000 NFL commercials. What's your most remembered ones? Remember the Michael Vick roller coaster? Let's see. Can we show this? Let's see. Yeah, it was a really good one. The Michael Vick experience. Oh. Yeah. All right, so here's the roller coaster one. Da-da. Yeah, we'll see if we'll get pinged. Just get pulled from the stream. Also, like that was one of the first years where they introduced the new helmets. I suppose I could turn the sound on.
Remember, push up in the pocket zone, 7 step correct chin strap.
This is production value right here. Michael Vick. And commercials were longer back in the day.
Urlacher and Brooks showing blitz.
Urlacher, Derek Brooks.
Slides around the pocket. Pressure's gone. He's going to keep it. Streak to the outside.
Supposedly. Is that a Santos number?
That's not in the playbook, but he should be.
Also, Michael Vick was one of the only 2000s. Because Michael Vick signed a 10-year deal, right? I want to say. I'd have to do some research on this. But, yeah, that Michael Vick commercial was great. Also, the other one with T.O. is good. So, what video game is this?
Check Sam Blitz. Check that safe. Watch
Yeah, it's got Michael Vick.
It's on 2.
Thought you were going to run. Thought you were going to block. Thought you were going to run. Fourth and 15. Also, Michael Vick's throwing motion, it was just so epic. Right? Just look at the wrist and the ball will go 50 yards. Everyone talks about Vick's athleticism. He honestly had one of the strongest arms. Let's see, mute that again. All right, next up is... what do we do? We zoom? All right. Luke K. Top 5 favorite ice cream. Top 5 ice cream toppings. I'm not really a toppings guy. So I don't know. I guess nuts. D's nuts. Actually, some salted cashews On ice cream, really good. Let's see here. Favorite ice creams, probably strawberry one. I'm sort of a purist. Strawberry one, like a really good natural vanilla two. Like like a blueberry cheesecake. There's a ice cream place called Nelson's in St. Paul as well as Stillwater, which just gives you absolutely insane size portions. But they have a blueberry cheesecake that's really good. Oh, mint chocolate chip, certainly up there. Then lastly, I don't know, some sort of like dark berry. So like raspberry, blackberry, somewhere in there. That'd be up there. Torrey Hansen, Duluth, Minnesota. It would make the border battle between the Vikings Packers that much better. Yeah, Vikings, Duluth, and the Packers in Superior. That'd be pretty good. Make an outdoor stadium. Just imagine all the great new memories. Yes. Pilford Skull, moved to Duluth and built a giant outdoor stadium by the lake. Be beautiful in the fall and brutal for traveling teams in winter, late fall. I concur. Boom. Eric Anderson. At what point do you think J.J. Watt and the Texans part ways, and should the Vikings try to bring him in once it happens? Mostly that's just because I hear you say J.J. Well, that's last name. That's a take on Chris Berman. Let's see here. Spot Rec. J.J. Watt. PFR, J.J. Watt. Yeah, so J.J. Watt's only been healthy 1 year out of the past 4. He certainly is not the J.J. Watt that we used to know and love. Like, J.J. Watt, during his peak years from 2012 to 2015, those 4 seasons, you could say that he was the best defensive player in NFL history. Easily, you could say. Like, look at this ridiculousness. He had 2 seasons where he had 20 and a half sacks. Are you kidding me? Just absolute wrecking ball force of nature. But as we said, has only been fully healthy 1 season out of 4 of the last couple of years. Then contract-wise, let's see here. Oh, he's only got 2 years left on his deal. I mean, the Texans could get out of this deal relatively easily. Yeah, so yeah, like they could cut J.J. Watt today and have 0 dead cap. So that's surprising. I'd say no. There will be demand for him, sure, just because of name value, but I don't think he'd be worth it. Because, all right, so next year he'd be 32. Already had health issues. J.J. Watt strikes me like the kind of guy. Obviously, he's into stuff off the field. He's a great ambassador for the game. He's really great in the community as well, worthy causes. So I could see J.J. Watt just retiring young. I mean, especially since he's had these spate of injuries. Also, you want to get nuts? I just love looking at these Patrick Mahomes like contract numbers. This is great. Because if you think about it, this is a very Chiefs-friendly deal. I'm sure that this is the page that's gotten the most traffic for them today. Pretty easily. All right, so make this fit better. That's what she said. All right, come on. Do I have to? There we go. All right, so 10-year deal. So 10 years, $450 million. Average $45 million on the deal, and you see fully guaranteed to sign $63 million. Total guarantees about $140. And this is again, this is a very Chiefs friendly deal. It just is. So he's getting a $10 million signing bonus. That's over the first 5 years of the season. He's got a year left on his rookie deal, as well as you factor in the 5th year option, which they did. Then you got the 10-year deal after that. And this is basically a 3-year deal. This is basically a 3-year extension. So they got dead cap numbers really big in the first 3 seasons, extending through the first 5. And after that, there's lots of team options in there. And the guaranteed money, it evaporates relatively quick. So, like I said, the fully 140 guaranteed at signing, that's basically front loading the first 5 years. I mean, after that, it gets very team friendly. So say by 2025, when he's 29 years old, let's see, where's his base salary? All right, so base is low, but overall compensation will be about $41 million. I mean, in 5 years, that could be outside the top 5. It could be. Man, this is a fantastic deal from the Chiefs side. Now, I understand it's like, oh, but they're committing themselves for so long. No, like say, God forbid, knock on wood, if something happens to Patrick Mahomes or his play for some reason just dips, like they could get out of this deal rather quickly. Like theoretically, they get out of it after 2022, and really easily the subsequent years. So this is phenomenal. Like by the time that this contract ends, and chances are, if he's still with the Chiefs, they'll do a restructure. They'll do an extension. They'll bring this contract up to keeping up with the Joneses. But 2031, a yearly cash of about $52.5 million. That could be outside the top 10. It really could be. And I thought if anyone could have the leverage to make this a deal that was tied to percentage of salary cap, like say, his compensation is always equal to the previous season or 18% of the salary cap, something theoretical like that. It was Mahomes. But man, like if Mahomes can't do it, I don't think any player is ever going to do it. And that could be some sort of implicit collusion amongst the owners, like because no one wants to break that seal. I mean, Russell Wilson could have done it. Andrew Luck, when he was in his prime, probably could have done it. Patrick Mahomes certainly could have done it. But I think that's the Rubicon that the owners don't want to cross, because once a player does that, there's precedent on the books. So I don't think an owner wants to do that to his other 31 constituents. All right. Back to the questions. What were we talking? We were talking about Duluth? It's possible. We were talking about J.J. Watt. Graham Murray fighting Jeromes. That'd be good. And our mascot would be a seagull with a fierce, angry grin. I love it. Still more intimidating than a cheese sponge on your head, though. Yeah, it's weird, though. I mean, Packers is weird. So the wife is from Austin, and Austin's got Hormel, the pork meat packaging plant place. It's great. Like most of the town works there. And the high school mascot is the Packers, right? And that's where the Green Bay Packers got that's the etymology of their name too. Is like, oh, they're Packers, factory workers, Packers. It's weird. Like Steelers too. People worked on steel mills. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool just going through and finding out like the source of all the team names. It's kind of neat, especially in the NFL. Eric Hansen. The Canton Bulldogs, because they originally didn't have enough players, so they actually played a canine at free safety. He was good. Guy had range. Wasn't great in the box, though, but yeah. Eric Hansen. Build the stadium right next to Kensington Rune Park because actual Vikings once visited there allegedly. Let's check this out. Yes. Also, I do like getting into like pseudo alternative history where things that probably did not happen, but you still talk about. So like, say the Vikings, the original Vikings made it like deep into modern day Canada, modern day North America, United States. All right. So this is up by Alexandria. This is over by Yeah. But also, Gavin Menzies, 1421, just like the complete pseudo history of like, hey, maybe the Chinese made it to America first, huh? And then it's just like, I mean, it's good fiction. I don't think it really happened that way, but yeah, it's kind of cool. Next up is W. Day Robbie. I'll move them to Detroit Lakes, where I actually lived 4 years ago. It's a good time. It would be a good homage to Adam Jerome, Ezekiel Thielen. Tree J, what was your favorite restaurant to show up to drunk tipsy? Mine's got to be Olive Garden or Taco Bell. Wait, how are you showing up drunk to Olive Garden, man? Like Midwestern middle-class families are just trying to enjoy their meal there, man. Something about them grinding Parmesan gets drunk me all giddy. I don't know, if you're drunk, if like you're really three sheets to the wind, you probably shouldn't be going to a sit-down restaurant. You shouldn't. But I do remember, so college memories for me, there was two places. So there was this rundown Hardee's in Winona, which they destroyed now, probably for good reason. But yeah, I just do remember showing up there, getting a to-go order, and what was a big ham and cheese? Was that the thing at Hardee's, or a burger, something like that? But also, so they had a herbs and gerbs, which is just phenomenal. Like if you're drunk, nothing sounds better than a Comet candy, as well as some beer cheese soup, and also you get the guts from the sandwich too. Like just soak up that soup, soak up that booze, soak up that bottom rail. just like insipid alcohol that you've been trying to consume. Just great. Rail everything. Ugh. Ugh. I like Winona State students were so dedicated to herbs and gerbs that at Jimmy John's, which is arguably a better place, actually it is a better place, that opened up and it closed because no one went there. Also, it closed because there was a taco truck that just parked outside of Jimmy John's and stole all the customers, which is just funny to me. Yeah. Next up, Taco Bell is good too. Actually, I would be willing to say that I've never had Taco Bell sober. I don't think that's controversial because I've never had an instance where, it's on like a Tuesday noon and, you're working, you're like, we got some grumbly in my tumbly. Let's go get some Taco Bell. No, that doesn't happen because then the rest of Tuesday is just shot. Nah, that hasn't happened. It's weird. Hey, Livestream, let us know where you're watching from. Give a couple shout outs. Always enjoy doing that. As well as give another plug. Check out our Macro NFL channel. Actually, no, never mind. I don't have the link. The link's earlier in the live chat. You'll figure it out. Yeah. Top 5 football news today. We also put a link to the video in the community tab, so check that out. Lee Jensen. What's your take on people saying there will be no season with the resurgence of COVID? Also, Woodbury, Minnesota. I want to save myself a trip plus fair amount of farmland for a cheaper build. Although it ain't really cheap to build out in Woodbury, man. It's nice, but people saying there'll be no season. Well, I think that it's really easy just to say there will be no season or there will be a season. I think that's just the easy way to be like, no season. But I do think that it's important to watch what's happening with the NBA as well as Major League Baseball as they work to come back. I think that it's smart, the testing parameters that they're putting in place, all the precautions for the players, for the coaches, for the fans, if applicable, if fans are allowed at all, with media as well. So I think the NFL has an advantage in that they can see how other leagues operate first. I think they're at a disadvantage because teams are obviously larger with the NFL as well as coaches, personnel as well. So I'm cautiously optimistic that things will get done, but also I feel like the saying that there is a resurgence in the Rona, you could say that. I don't necessarily see it as hey, this is the second wave of the pandemic because with testing numbers going up, you are going to have more positive as well as asymptomatic rates are going up as well. Plus, everyone's going to get it. I've sort of just accepted that. I mean, the whole shelter in place, quarantine yourself, 15 days, about flattening the curve. That wasn't about stopping the virus. That was about not overwhelming the healthcare system. So now I think what you're seeing is that so as numbers go up, positive test numbers go way up. You see the death rate starting to go down because I think people, we're starting to get smarter about treating positive cases, not slapping everyone on a ventilator. We actually know some therapeutics that don't cure it, but do have positive results. So I think that people who get it now that have the big symptoms, I think that potentially that could have led to death earlier on, but I think that they're surviving now, so that's obviously great news. I do think there is some cavalierness with people saying, "Oh, there's no virus. Oh, we're going to do this. We're going to do that." But it's not to the degree as the media and social media want you to believe either. So I'm still cautiously optimistic that smarter people at the NFL level, which it'll be a first time for everything, right? We'll get this right. There will be a season. I think it's important for the players. I think it's important for their livelihoods and families because, like, you look at the work stoppage in 2011. Like, how many players just couldn't not afford taking a couple games off? Like, you see how many players went to the league. Like, there was funds set up so they could get short-term loans. Like, are you kidding me? You're multi-million-dollar athletes, and you have set aside nothing for a rainy day? No. So imagine some of these players, some of these families as well, taking a full year off. I just don't see it. And also, the trickle down, like things would be better if there's just a season. So if that includes just people being smarter about things, that'd be great as well. All right, couple of shout outs. Cody Adams, KCMO in the house. Love Kansas City. What is up? Michael Bertrick, Skull from Huntsville, Alabama. The Rocket City, NASA. Rocket City, Purple Rain, Skull from Wausau, Wisconsin. Ryan Nudo, Skull from Hopkins in Minnesota. Love it. Big Grover, Skull from Grover Street. Hey, wait a minute. Eric Anderson, Skull from Moorhead. It's always the funniest town when you're like a kid. Still kind of funny because we're all still kids. Who's that dude? Preston, Minnesota. Southeast Minnesota represent. Fillmore Central. What is up? Devin A. Toff, Skull from Brentwood, California. Brentwood, hello. Brian Kayukin, Skull from Montrose. What is up? Sir Meepslot, Skip from Long Island. Still don't know why you call it Strong Island because it's easy and I'm lazy. Preacher Paul, Holland for all of you. Tifton, Georgia. What is up? Nick Doroff, Skull from Waite Park, Minnesota. What up? Oakview, Skull from Andover, Minnesota. What up, Andy? What up, Oakview? Zach Bell, Skull from NoCo, Northern Colorado, in the Hizzy. Scott Sharp, where do you live, King, that people are getting smarter or ever doing anything correct? Serious question. I'm 47, cannot point out any intelligence in our people or country, King. I don't know. Pazmello, Skull from Greenbow, North Carolina. Love the Carolinas, man. Morph, Skull from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Milwaukee. I do basketball, Skull from St. Paul. What is up? You guys are the best. Thanks for coming along on the live stream. And if you're checking us out on demand, it's okay. I understand. I understand that 11 a.m. Central Time in the middle of the day ain't for everyone, but it is for the loyal Jeromes. But hey, check us out on demand. I love you as well. Next up is Bawa Taba. Do you think the inflation will ever catch up to Mahomes' deal and make it relatively team-friendly for a player of his caliber? Yes. I think it will catch up pretty quickly, actually. Looking at the deal, probably about year 4, somewhere in there. Tree J. Angle Township, look it up. Okay. This is going to be the smallest town in Minnesota, isn't it? Angle Township. Population 119. I love it. All right, so yeah, it's the part of Canada that's technically Minnesota. Yeah. The part of Minnesota where you either have to take a boat or you have to drive through Canada to get back. All right, so do you have to go through customs twice? I'm assuming you do, right? Like, is there a custom station right here? Oh, man, that's great. Oh yeah. So, yeah, you come. Oh, yeah. Oh. I always love this too. Provincial Road 525, and then it becomes Winter Road. No big deal. It's great. Yeah, like how many smugglers go back and forth here? Or is there a fence? It doesn't look like a fence. Or like, does Canada train Wolverines to keep Americans out? Which is ironic because Red Dawn is the greatest American movie ever of all time. Yeah, by the way, so I rewatched Red Dawn, the OG original. Phenomenal movie. I think it's pretty firmly in my top 10. And then initially I was really upset about the remake of Red Dawn. I watched it once and I got pissed and I wrote off, but I watched it again. It's not terrible. It's not the worst thing ever. Yeah. Griffin Creer, do you think the Vikings find a way to get Chris Jones? Well, they can't afford him anymore, so now the teams have leverage, so maybe 2-1s. He'd be worth it. I would love it. Oakview, I really think Mahomes being secured for another 12 years is good for the Chiefs because by then quarterbacks make $100 million a year. Maybe not that much, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Also, easy answer to St. Paul. Yeah, I like St. Paul. St. Paul's a good town. St. Paul. So Frogtown's great. Like St. Paul down near the X, it's great as well. Lower Town. Ooh, I love Lower Town. Down by. So the Bulldogs down there. There's a great fried chicken place down there too. I forget the name exactly. Down near the St. Paul Saints Stadium. It's great too. Luke K, Mankato State Community College. Yeah, no one's going back to Blakesley. Of course, Duluth would be cool. On top of a huge hill overlooking the lake, I would say Alexandria, but ruin traffic for a lot of people just trying to visit cabins. Agree. Would have to be one of those funny names towns like Minnesota, like Ball Club, Clappers, Climax, Embarrass, Nimrod, or Winter. I love it. Ernesto Esparza, LA, baby. No. Outdoor stadium, where we have the best weather here. LA does have really good weather, though. I'll give it that. Sir Meeps a lot. What is a realistic trade you could see us making come to the end of the offseason, like the time period we traded for Corey Vidvik? Looked at the 5th round again. I was going to say John Ross. I think the Bengals are probably going to cut him. So securing his rights, I don't even think he'll take a 5th. Might even take a 7th. Maybe a 6th. Preacher Paul, I'd say probably Alexandria area. Seems more centered region. So I put in St. Cloud. Then people actually go to St. Cloud. Face. Yet again. Mike Yang. Name me one person who always shows up on your live stream. Plus, I would move them to St. Paul, the capital. Well, Preacher Paul, Zach Ballas, Sir Meepslot, Brian Kayukin. Let's see here. Rayshawn Ivory is usually around. He's not here today. But, yeah, we have a bunch of regular loyal viewers. Eric Nelson's up there, too. Devin A. Toft is usually in there. Nick Doroff, of course. Yeah, we have a lot of really good daily live stream Jeromes. Love all of you guys. Next up, Eric Hansen. Tear down some stuff. Move next to Canterbury Park and build a special residence for Paul Allen right in the middle. This is Paul Allen for Continental Diamonds. You got a friend in the diamond business. Actually, I got to work on my PA impression. Kirk Cousins. Nah. You've got a friend in the diamond business. Man, I want to know how much Continental Diamond spent on marketing over the years. It's probably a lot, right? Yeah. Or more or less than 1877 cars for kids. Do they still do commercials? I don't listen to enough radio to still know. Yeah. Sir Meeps a lot. Minnesota Minotaurs. That'd be good. Would be a sick name for, or Minneapolis Miracles have a good shooting star on helmet, and the rest is purple. Pretty decent. Gavin O. Who of our receivers has a higher upside? Have a higher upside, not named Adam Thielen. Well, Jefferson is the easy one. Other than that, I think BC could turn into a very serviceable wide receiver too. I still like Davion Davis, especially in the return game. That was his bag coming out of Sam Houston State. The team really likes Alexander Hollins. I like him too. I think BB's topped out. I do. So, I guess KJ Osborne, they see him as a return specialist now, but maybe it could see him working into like a Jarius Wright adjacent type role. And it's not just because he wears number 17 and is short. Next up is Zach Ballas. Do you think the 2017 Vikings get any farther if Joe Burgess didn't retire? It's possible because let's see. So Easton was left guard. Remmers was right guard. No, that's not right, is it? No, Remmers kicked into guard after Easton got hurt, so I remember that. It's possible. I mean, Joe Berger, you can make a good case, was the best Vikings offensive lineman of the last decade. And that offensive line greatly changed after Nick Easton broke his ankle. It just did. Yeah. Sir Meeps a lot. I know Vikings wouldn't do it, but it'd get better and younger in the years. Harrison Smith for Jamal, Rudolph for Njoku, 3 for 30, 2 for Ngakoue. 3 for 3. Obviously, all these is possible. If I could pick one trade out of there, I would do Rudy for Njoku. I really like Njoku. Well, no, I would do Thuney. Fewest moving parts. Mo Abdul 99. I picked Wazetta because it's a good city, nice people, great scenery, and there's a lot of people that live there. That's where all the money is. Karsten Cicernos, St. Paul. Makes the most sense. Bawa Taba, do you think Derrick Henry will last 4 more years in the league? Yes, but he will not be Derrick Henry. The body only has so many shots in it, and I could see him greatly falling off. Like, you look at what happened with Sean Alexander, you look at what happened with Larry Johnson, just like, Brandon Jacobs. Brandon Jacobs, for a hot second, was the baddest man in the league. And then just same thing with Allstott, too. Gavin O. Is Zimmer a top 10 coach? Yes. All right, so let's count down. Who do we want to lead our football team as a coach? Again, taking out GMing. All right, so Belichick pretty easily won. Belichick 1, Andy Reid 2, Pete Carroll 3. Personally, I would do BA 4. No. Tomlin 4. No. Harbaugh 4, Tomlin 5. Then it gets tough. And then you get the whole strata of BA, Zimmer, the 12-year-old boy in LA, not the 12-year-old boy in Green Bay. Screw that guy. You got Doug Peterson. You got Frank Reich. It gets a little tough. Does get a little tough. But yeah, top 10 firmly. Buffalo, Minnesota, cost of living is lower. Plus, cars cost less than Buffalo. Tons of local entertainment, cheaper housing, I-94 access. Tons of farmland, host stadium. Current stadium looks like tailgate spots. NDSU is awesome tailgate. Yeah, just have a large parking lot. Like, when they built Met Stadium in Bloomington, that used to be in farmland. There used to be nothing around that mofo. Let's see. Bloomington. So maybe they need to do that again. Buffalo would be fine until Buffalo becomes a 7th-ranked suburb eventually. Let's see. God, there was a good stadium where it was like Cedar Avenue and then like nothing. I guess that's pretty close. But yeah, so that's the old Met Stadium initially before looks like they built out the grandstands. So yeah, that's where the Mall of America is right now. This is probably Cedar Avenue. It's just funny. All right, so let's see here. 494 will be up all up in here. Man, weird times. Weird. Now there's a stupid mall there. Stupid giant mall. Yeah. Next up. Stupid giant mall that my kid just absolutely adores going to. Riding stupid rides. Django Pop Check. Oh. I skipped some. Hunter Williams. Skull from Coon Rapids. If the Vikings had changed cities, I would pick Arden Hills. Do you think the Patrick Mahomes will win another Super Bowl? Yeah, I think they'll win. If the Vikings don't win next year, I think the Chiefs will repeat. Big Grover, because they returned 20 of 22 starters and Eric Bieniemy. Big Grover. I have a solution for the Washington name change. Keep the name and change the logo to a red potato. Yeah, that's been discussed. I mean, it's a good way around it. Gavin O. Actually, wait. Have the social justice warriors come for the name of the potatoes as well? I wouldn't put it past them. Trade with the Jets. We get Bell. No. That's a non-starter. Adams in the 4th, and they get Harrison Dalvin. No. Jesus Christ, no. Django Popcheck. Duluth. CJ Ham will be sole team captain. I love it. 98 Vikings versus 99 Rams. Who wins? Oh, the 99 Rams beat the Vikings, didn't they? Pretty sure they did. Okay. Now, the 99 Vikings were certainly not the 98 Vikings, but they were close. I mean, because I believe Jeff George was in at that point. Yeah. Just look at this insane division round. So the Vikings made it back because they were 10-6. They won a wild card game. And then 49-37 in the playoffs. I mean, come on. So, yeah, this is relatively close. But yeah, peak Magic 98 Vikings with John Randall healthy. I think the Vikings. Either way, it's going to be a shootout. Because, I mean, look at this stupid box score. All right, Jeff George, 29-50 for 423, 4 touchdowns, and he lost. A 104 quarterback rating. Wow. Kurt Warner, 27-33, 391, 5-1, and a 143 rating. Just how stupid is this game? Ooh, Marshall Falk, 11 for 21. Hey, at least they stopped the run. It was good. Oh, I mean, just look at that. So Moss, 9 for a buck 88 and 2. Chris Carter, 7 for 106 and a tutty. That's just, how stupid is this? Robert Smith had 7 catches in this game. Oh, man. Sacks. Burrow, John Randall. London Fletcher. Love London Fletcher because he was like 5'2". Kevin Carter. You want out of the game? Yeah. So, yeah, with a fully healthy John Randall, I picked the 98 Vikings. Next up is Charlie Boltman. The NFL finally figured out a way to squash every potential dynasty. It's called massive amounts of guaranteed money. Specifically guaranteed money to quarterbacks and wide receivers. Want to bet that you'll never see a back-to-back Super Bowl winner in your lifetime? I will bet that there will be. Or another quarterback wins more than 2 Super Bowls in the career. Mahomes' contract makes it sick. I actually wouldn't have minded seeing him become a dynasty quarterback. Well, once again, in the numbers, man, it's a pretty team-friendly deal. Also, this year they only added, was it $30K to their salary cap? So I think the Chiefs have a great chance to potentially repeat this year. And also, if you got a quarterback, you always got a shot. Like if you take Russell Wilson off the Seahawks, that's a terrible team. Like that's probably a 5-11 team without Russell Wilson. So that's the importance of the quarterback position. So it means a lot. If I'm not being biased, Fadi being a full-time star, I'm honestly a little iffy. How dare you? Dare you? Charlie Boltman, stadium completely sculpted out of ice in the middle of Lake Minnetonka. I'd rename them the North Star Naturals and sign a massive contract with Natty Ice. It's the natural and over Calais Campbell would be more important to the Ravens next season than DeAndre Hopkins will be the Chargers, than the Cardinals. What are your thoughts? I think, well, the Ravens yet again pulled off a heist. Like no one was willing to give up a 4th rounder for Calais Campbell. Really? They got him for a 5th. But yeah, he's still a stud. Nuke is still, I think Nuke in that system on the outside, now he's going to have a big impact. Plus Kyler showed some really good flashes last year. And I think he could really launch in year 2. Like the Cardinals could be a sneaky great team. What are your thoughts? I'm only betting one Devin DuVernay, Michael Pittman Jr., bigger rookie impacts than Judy Lamb and Ruggs. Well, I think in their situations, I really like Devin DuVernay's game. I think he's going to be a great slot receiver. I do like his stoutness. I think his toughness is great. I saw that at Texas. I really like Pittman. I was initially kind of cool on him, but the more I dug on him, and the more specifically for the Vikings, I think that he's going to do great things as an outside receiver for the Colts. I mean, also you look at Phillip Rivers' track record with tall receivers. It's purely anecdotal, but like Vincent Jackson and Malcolm Floyd and Mike Williams and Keenan Allen's not a shorty either. Yeah, but like hell, if the Vikings would have taken Pittman at 22. Instead of Jefferson, I don't think anyone would have been upset. I think everyone would be like, yeah, there you go. Yeah. Eric Nelson. I think the Vikings could follow me everywhere I go, be in that city. Also, do you think Dak Prescott is a top 10 quarterback and Dallas sucks? I think Dak barely is top 10. He may be number 10 overall. Best name for Washington, the Washington Beards, the DCs, the Muckrackers, the Drone Strikes, the Watergates, the West Wingers. There's a good one that, so the Harlem Globetrotters are open to selling the Washington Generals name. I mean, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. World War II General Vince Vaughn. It helps me sleep at night knowing that your top 5 reasons against Kirk video sort of trolls Kirk apologists. That's the entire reason for the channel, trolling. 2, time is definitely a flat circle. 3, my city town for the Vikings, Cloquet. Up Norte, everything is okay in Cloquet, just like the Vikings. Cloquet's a good town. Doesn't get the love that Duluth gets, but yeah, it's still a pretty solid town all the way around. Tyrone, Long Dick style. Why did your people cause the coronavirus? Yeah, reasons. Do you like Equimania St. Brown? No. Go Pack, go. I think St. Brown, he's certainly up there on the all-name, no-game team. He's not good. Then people got after him. We get the occasional racist comment. I like them better when they're creative, as opposed to just like, hey, chink. Yeah, here. Nah. Nick Doroff, Laverne, Minnesota. It's way out west, right? I date a girl from Laverne. Laverne, Minnesota, way out west. It's actually like a decent-sized town. Let's see. How big is Laverne? 4745. Wait, is that where Southwest Minnesota? No, that's a Marshall, isn't it? Also, so I've been looking at like lakefront property, and now everyone goes up north, right? But there's a lot of places out west, especially southwest. Some of these lakes out here, pretty good as well. I always thought so. When you're heading towards Mankato, you go through this, if you take Highway 60 across here, I always felt like this stretch of lakes is like a really well-kept secret because there's some great properties there. They look like great lakes. From what I've read, the fishing is pretty good on those lakes as well. Also, you don't have the tools, that go all the way up north, so you don't have to fight traffic as well either. Plus, for me, so definitely I'm buying a lake house. That's definitely a life goal. But also, I don't want to be on a super high traffic lake. Yeah, because you don't want amateur hour on like 4th of July and like the opener and stuff like that. So I'm looking for flat land for sure. Don't need to be crawling upstairs when I'm older, as well as on a lake that's decent size, good fishing, like walleye, northern, muskie, whatever. I'm not overly picky, but also big enough lake, but also not big enough where it's like a tourist trap. You know what I mean? So, and those properties are actually cheaper, so that's great, win-win. Next up, just which member of the Minnesota Vikings would most likely punch someone in the nuts just for fun? Well, it would have been B-Rob. I feel like Brian O'Neill would have like a sneaky sense of humor like that, where, hey, who's the former GM of the Lakers? I don't know who. Mitch Kupchak. I can see that. Wolves. I think Patrick Mahomes got overpaid, in my opinion. Get back to me in like 3 years when he's the 5th highest paid quarterback in the league. I think they should move to California or Washington because the Vikings come from Scandinavia. I should go to a Scandinavian state to represent the history and culture. That's why Minnesota chose Vikings. I don't get it. Anyways, that is it. Live streams. You guys are the best. Heart you. Thanks for coming along. Back tomorrow, Wednesday. Man, hump day already. 11 a.m. Central Time. Go check that out. Go check out our other channel as well. Oh. I'll provide the link because I'm good at production value and whatnot. All right, so there we go. Top 5 football news day. Again, we haven't decided on the name because I'm terrible at branding. But go subscribe over there. Check out the videos. We'll have more macro NFL stuff over there. So if you enjoy this space, if you enjoy these takes for general football talk, be over there. But be back tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central Time. Skull, production value. You guys are the best.